Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on the PS5. Tonight it's round 23. It's the season finale of Season 2. We're heading to Yas Island, to Yas Marina, for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So here we are then, ready for our final race with Mercedes. We will be moving on to a new team at the end of this season. There is a vote up on the community tab right now to decide which team will be going to next. If we have a quick look, 81 votes have been popped in so far. Your three options were Ferrari, McLaren and AlphaTauri. So far, McLaren are winning with 57% of the vote, Ferrari with 28%, and AlphaTauri with 15% of the vote. That poll will stay up until Monday evening, just before 8 PM UK time, when the stream will go live, and that will be when we start Season 3 and choose the team which has won the poll. So at the moment McLaren are looking like our destination for Season 3, but there's still plenty of time for you to cast your vote if you haven't done so already. Evening Marcel, good to see you. How are you tonight? Right, our drivers are all prepped and ready. There's nothing more we can get done with our cars. They're running on the final threadbare bits of parts we've got left. Let's just see what our car actually looks like on the grid. George's car second in top speed, behind Max's Red Bull, a long way off in terms of acceleration. DRS a little bit behind. We're only 7th now in our downforce. The lack of aero performance has definitely been hampered by having to go to older spec parts just to get through to the end of the season. Breaking the cost cap as early as we did has certainly had a bit of a knock-on effect. Also, it's going to potentially really hurt Mercedes' car a little bit next season because we've lost out on 3 months worth of research. Still, can't be helped. We've done the best we can for them. We've upgraded some facilities. We have developed others. Refurbished what needs to be refurbed, and assuming we've got enough money, I might even throw an extra upgrade on there for them on our way out as well. I want to make sure that they have got enough money to cover the fines, etc., that we have brought upon them by breaching the cost cap. So let's make sure we can go out with some decent sponsorship money. Let's see. Qualifying, I think we can get to into the top 6. And in terms of Q2, yeah, both cars will get through. Finish position is 2 in the top 4, the incentive. We've got a chance of that, I think. We should hopefully have a good chance to get the fastest lap. And then finish position streak 2 in the top 6 and 2 in the top 8 for quali. To complete those streaks, and that will bring us an extra 2 mil for those as well. So hopefully we'll come out with a nice little bit of extra cash. Right, let's head to Abu Dhabi.
The season draws to a close here with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A long season has led us around the world over all this year's races to get here. The last chance to settle the season in the final round. Reprofiled in 2021 to improve overtaking, Yas Marina is a high downforce circuit where DRS is highly effective. Racing under floodlights, the track cools during the Grand Prix to help with brake and tyre wear. In the last round, Max Verstappen flew to victory, the Dutchman proving that he can be absolutely unstoppable when he's in such fine form. The weekend begins here.
Evening pack-ins, good to see you. Right, let's get practice underway. We're going to throw Teo in for Lewis tonight. So let's go on to some soft tyres for this car. We're going to swap out parts in a moment. Actually, let's do that now before I forget. Let's go with that engine there. And that ERS. And that gearbox. There we go. Right, setup for this car. Which one shall I go with? Let's go with 6, 12, 19, 3.25 and a 1. There we go. The run plan for Abu Dhabi is normally 18 laps, so we will overfuel and go 25. Drop that. Actually, we don't need to drop the pace. Not anymore. Final race of the season. Don't need to protect the parts for future practice sessions. Let's see, George. We're going to run him on hard tyres. Let's swap out his car parts. We'll go with the 72% engine. The 29 ERS. And the 71 gearbox. There we go. Set up for George's car. We're going to go a little bit different. We're going to go with a 5, a 13, a 5.5, a 3.05, and a 0.4. And we will run 18 laps on his car. There we go. Just check. Did I go 12 on the rear wing? I did. Good. Right, let's send them out to the track and see if these setups work.
Radio check. And radio's loud and clear.
Evening, Mr. Water. Alright, so I'll actually get a kind of a more realistic overview of pace for this practice. Because, as I say, we don't need to protect the parts for future Grand Prix weekends. This is the final one.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
I think Porsche is probably going to be a little bit quicker, so we'll get George to just mosey on out of the way. There we go. Looks like Teo is actually the slower of the two. So yeah, we'll tell Teo to stay back. It's tricky. They're quite evenly matched in terms of pace, partly down to car performance, partly down to tyres.
Give us a balance check.
And fuel levels as well, but Porsche is definitely not as talented as a driver. So he should start to drop back as his tyres wear out a bit. We can see that is now the case. We have got a feedback of 71%. That's not bad, but it's not great. Let's make some tweaks. Okay, so we need to up that to a 12.5. Let's make that a 2.8. We'll go with a 5 on the front. And then a 3.5 on the camber. We'll see how that goes. We are going to need some fresh tyres. Oh, terrible feedback for George, 55%.
Got a car stopped on track. There's debris all over.
And Schumacher's crashed.
Now we've got an incident here and Mick Schumacher is apparently involved.
Yeah, not a good one. I think that was German for whoops.
Keep the delta positive.
Right, let's have a tinker with this one. Oh, we are way off. Okay, so this is going to be a 12 setup, I think. I've only got the 112 setup, so we'll try it, which is the 612, the 19, the 3.25, and the 1. This is the setup we put on Teo. So we'll give that a go and see if that works. We might have to tweak it.
So VSC ending.
Copy.
So, not really much on the line tonight, as both championships have now been decided. But, can we end Lewis's career at Mercedes with a win? I think we might need a little bit of help with Max having such a strong car going into this final round. But we'll try. We'll see what we can do. And there we go. Big improvement. We've nailed the setup for Teo. So let's call that car in. And now we just need to wait for Russell to give us his final bit of feedback. 94%. So a little tweaking is needed, but that's a massive improvement.
Very good job,
Considering it was 55% after his first run. McLaren are looking very slow here. That's a little concerning, considering that could be where we're heading next season. Right, okay, so the cornering needs to go up a bit. We'll go to a 3.35. That is a bit too much. I'm going to have to do it by changing the wing. Let's push the wing to a 6.5. That's too much. Right, let's go to a 5.5 on the wing. 3.35, and we'll leave the toe where it is. and see if that works. So, practice 1 in the books. Red Bulls are looking quick, as are the Astons. Penalties for Perez and Alonso. So Perez has got a new engine for tonight. And so has Alonso. Lovely. Okay, all of a sudden, a win is looking very tricky. With 3 very fast cars we're going to have to deal with. Right, practice 2. Let's go 28 laps of fuel. Drop the pace. Actually, no, it's not drop the pace. Don't need to do that. Keep forgetting. We've already made changes to the setup for Lewis. Changes are made. It's already at 100, so we just need to run him. We're going to try that for 40 laps. And let's send them out.
Just push. Understood.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on the performance of the 3 teams that we've put up for the vote: Ferrari, McLaren and AlphaTauri in this race, and try and see where they might be at in terms of performance. Of course, we don't know how much research they've done for next season and in what areas, or where their driver lineups are going to be, for that matter, or how good their facilities are, or what condition those facilities are in. They could be in a really, really run-down condition. There's a lot of unknowns going into season 3. Switching teams like this. Well, there we go. We nailed the setup changes for George. That's excellent stuff. That'll be a setup for the books. So far, Perez is looking mighty quick. Although, I don't know what time you set those tyres on. And you set them on softs. Okay.
When you can, feedback on your tyres.
Alright, we've just about killed Russell's tyres.
Copy that.
But he's pretty much at the end of his run anyway, so that's kind of worked out. And there we go, you see he's heading to the garage. So that worked out beautifully.
Definitely feel like I got some damage.
Stand by.
to you, is there anything at stake in this race? I think there's a close fight between Aston and Ferrari. Yeah, they are 16 points apart.
And update us on time.
But with a penalty for Alonso, I mean, he's going to be quick, but he's going to be down the order a bit. So it's going to be a case of Ferrari being ahead in the race, but having to hold off a fast-charging Alonso. And the number of points that's going to be up for grabs is going to be tougher. Because obviously we're going to be up in the mix. Both Red Bulls are going to be mighty quick here tonight. And that immediately dilutes the pool of available points for Ferrari and Aston Martin as well. There's a very good chance that Ferrari will not be able to close the gap on Aston enough, even if they do actually do quite well. Right. Check these setups in the book. So we've got a 5.5. Minus 3.35 and a 1. Okay, and let's take a look at Lewis's setup. Oh, I'll have to wait till we get back to the garage. So that is 5, 12.5, 2.8, 3.5 and 1. That is exactly as it is already in the book, so that doesn't need to get added. Right, fuel for the final session. We're going to need to run Lewis for at least 35 laps, I would say. And I am going to look after those tyres and the fuel, just in case we need to stretch his run a little bit. As for Russell, he can run a set of softs, and he's only going to need to run for 22 laps or so. There we go, let's send them out. Evening, Daniel, how are you tonight?
Looking into it.
Are you happy with photos?
Have I watched the F1 today? No, I have not seen qualifying yet. I'll be watching the highlights later in the stream. They go up on all four. I don't know the results yet, so please no spoilers.
Are all the tyres on? Something doesn't feel right.
I'll get back to you.
Max is going to win his third title this weekend. Yeah, probably. It's just frustrating that it's going to be in a nothing sprint race by, in all likelihood. I think he just needs to finish in the sprint, basically, to, finish in the points just to, guarantee that title. It's a real shame. Do I see anyone getting close to Red Bull next season? Maybe Mercedes if they get their car concept right for next season. McLaren have shown some really good progress this season. So we'll have to see. I mean, Red Bull are going to be the class-leading car next season. Again, I'm pretty sure of that. But it's going to be interesting to see if they can at least be challenged for wins, which hasn't really happened this season. Yeah, we've had brief glimpses of a challenge, but you know, from various different teams this season. But it'd be nice to see a slightly more sustained challenge. Like I said, for wins, if not necessarily for the constructors. A lot of people have been complaining about how boring it is seeing something so such a dominant season. I don't mind a team being dominant as long as there is a fight of some description. I mean, when Mercedes had the all-conquering car in 2016, 2015, they had brutal fights between Hamilton and Rosberg for the title. Both the season that Hamilton won it and then the season after that Nico won it. They were proper fights. So yeah, one team was running away, but you had a fight between the two drivers. There is no fight at Red Bull. Checo isn't on Max's level, and even if he could get on Max's level, the team would pull team orders and Max would be given priority anyway. So it's not that I don't like it when a team is dominant. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I just don't like it when there's no fight for the title at all. Max has walked this season. He's had no challenge from Checo. And the way Red Bull structures themselves, there wouldn't have been a fight even if he'd been closer. In seasons when Mercedes had the better car but Red Bull was close and you had Max challenging Lewis, Lewis was winning, but he wasn't winning every race. Bottas was getting involved, Max was getting involved in wins. There was a fight again for the title. We haven't seen that at all this year. It's just been a complete walkover, and it's just it's been dull as a result because there's been no drama. There's been no competition.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Drivers are able to defend well during races at Abu Dhabi, preventing rivals from gaining easy positions. Setting a good grid position during qualifying is fundamental as a result.
Esteban Ocon there, Karun. What's the feeling around him at the moment?
They had an excellent performance in practice, setting a solid lap time. They must be feeling confident. But confidence doesn't necessarily mean success in Formula One.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Who's going to finish second this season? Probably Perez, just simply because of the car. Evening, Jake. I'm doing alright, how about you? Right, final qualifying of the season. Let's put in the best bits that we have. Go. Right. Just the one lap to see if we can get through. No spoilers, Jay. I don't know the results Haven't seen qualifying yet. I'm going to be watching it later.
Focus on the brakes a bit.
Copy.
All right. Couple of cars in close proximity to George. Lewis has got plenty of clean air.
Yep.
Right, here we go then. Starting our first flying lap at Abu Dhabi.
All clear ahead. Good to go.
And circuit's all clear. Good to go.
Lewis with a slight edge at the moment. But we haven't seen the Red Bulls come out yet, and they are going to be very quick. Max with his new engine a couple of races ago, Perez with a new engine tonight. Of course, that will see him drop down the grid a little bit, but he'll have the pace to cut his way through. Same for Alonso, new engine for Alonso tonight as well. Hamilton is purple in the middle as well, so he's going to get pole position temporarily. 1:22.6 from George. It's faster than Gasly, but only by a couple of tenths. Not a great lap from George.
Okay.
It's got him into peak confidence though, because he's the first one to set a time and put him on pole temporarily. Lewis goes
Just keep an eye on that delta.
very close.
So just confirming.
Just that little bit faster.
Back to the garage.
Just 0.03 of a second between the two. And I expect Red Bull are going to blow us out of the water here when they eventually come out the garage. Oh, they're leaving it late. So here comes Max and Alonso and Perez. About to get displaced from the top of the table, I think. Oh yeah, half a second quicker than us. Where's Alonso? 8th. Oh, that's a surprise. Where's Perez? Oh, Perez got held up. He must have got held up to be that far off. He's running that new engine. Alright, we're going to ride on board with Perez when he comes back. There he is. What colour do I think Mercedes is going to be next season? I think they'll be black again. You know, for weight reasons. Alright then. Perez has got plenty of clean track in front of him. Do I think Mercedes will copy Red Bull's design? No. I mean, there'll certainly be elements of the Red Bull design that will have an impression on Mercedes, you know, on their car, but they have a very different design philosophy. So you can't just copy and paste the Red Bull onto a McLaren, onto a Mercedes, because it just wouldn't work for Mercedes. Plus, Mercedes, you know, will want to design their own car. I mean, there are no clones of the Red Bull. A lot of cars have incorporated bits or elements of the style of the Red Bull, but with their own unique take on it. And I'm sure there'll be some elements that will have been looked at very closely by Mercedes, but they'll go in their own direction. It's just whether they choose, you know, the right direction. They'll look at Mercedes, at the Red Bull as a concept, and they'll make their own version of that concept, you know, to their own design, their own, you know, ideas. They won't just copy paste. The only team that really has a history of doing that is Aston, when they were Racing Point, when they pretty much literally cloned the Mercedes and ran the what was dubbed the pink Mercedes in what was it, 2020? But that's since been outlawed. You know, yeah, it'll be its own unique design at Mercedes next season, but it may well have some elements that do copy the look at a glance. I mean, everyone said that earlier in the season that Aston had created a green. You know, was it last season that Aston had created the Green Bull, where they just cloned the Red Bull, but they had very different elements. Right, let's go with the same tyres. See, we were 2nd and 4th in that first session, so that's quite encouraging.
Let's just focus on the outlap.
Understood.
those rear brakes.
Understood.
Evening, John. Alonso's out early this time. Some sights. Stroll's out as well. And here comes Perez. So a lot of cars coming out early this session.
Circuits is all clear. You're good to go.
So Lewis about to start his flying lap.
And good to go.
And that was Russell just popping into the screen at the back there. It's going to be clear traffic for both of our drivers. And I think Ocon is getting a slipstream. I think he's the one who went purple in the first sector. Yeah, it's only Q2, so we don't need to top the timing sheets. We just need to finish in the top 10 to go through to Q3. So I'm not worried if we don't finish first and second in this session. Purple middle sector for George. Hamilton will set the first time of the session with a 1:23.0. Ocon goes fractionally faster.
P2 at the moment.
Thanks to that slipstreaming.
So we're happy with that lap.
And George goes even faster with a 1:22.8.
All the car.
Alright, let's see what the rest of the field does. Alonso, again, a long way off. He's running a new engine. How is he so slow? Is that Aston really that far gone? Or have they run out of parts a bit like us? And he's running much older spec parts than Stroll. I'm sure he's running a new engine. Let's have a quick look. Oh, he is, but his gearbox is shot. Oh, no wonder. That's really going to hurt him. Stroll's engine is only just under the 50% threshold, so it's only a little bit down. Gearbox and ERS are both fine, but a 24% gearbox, that'll hurt. That'll hurt a lot. Right, Perez sits at the top so far. Here comes Max on his flying lap. And goes fourth, but he got a little held up by the McLaren of Norris there. So Alonso is going to be the big at-risk name here as he starts his flying lap. It's right on board. Dives out of the way. He's improving in the first sector. and the middle sector as well. Is this going to be enough? I don't think he lost any time with that Alpine there. And he's up to 7th, so he is going to get through, I think. And now I'm starting to worry a little bit about Lewis. Wondering if I need to think about running him again. I'm looking at who's there, and I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna leave Lewis in the garage. Is it worth getting this game so far into its life, or just wait for next year's game? It's not that far into its life. It's only been, what, 2 months? Next year's game won't be out till September. Yeah, end of August, beginning of September time, so, you know, it's a long way to wait. What system are you thinking of getting it for? Are you on PC or console? Well, it was recently on sale. The deluxe edition was on sale for like 25% off, I think, or 20% off on PlayStation. I think it's currently on sale, the base game, for up to 40% off on Steam, depending on which version you get, standard or deluxe. I'd imagine it'll be on sale soon on Xbox if it hasn't been on sale already or isn't currently on sale. It's too late to send that, Lewis, say. There's less than a minute to go. He'll be fine. No improvement in the first sector from Norris. Or the middle sector. So I don't think Norris is going to do enough to get into the top 10. And he does not improve.
Okay,
So,
9.
there we go.
Copy, we are safe. You're doing a great job though.
We're into the final shootout of the season. So, 2 laps with a cool down lap in between. See if we can get ourselves up onto the top step. Perez a little off the pace at the moment.
Is that lap
Bit
normal?
of a surprise. Max yet set his time. There he goes. And he, yeah,
Oh, that's
Max is
critical.
going to take pole position, I'm pretty sure of that. But if we can get close, if we can get second and third, I'll be happy with that. Right, here we go. Flying lap started.
Should be all clear. So you're good to go. All clear ahead. Good to go.
No purples in the first sector. That's to be expected. I don't think we're going to get purple in any sector really, given how quick Max is. This is why we need proper live timings. When it tells us how far up or down we are in each sector against the lead lap. That really needs to be a feature in next year's game. I'm annoyed they didn't put it into this one. Right, so we're P2, but we're half a second down on Max. And George is P3, and oh, he is just 0.02 of a second slower than Lewis. Oh, that is close. So I went early because I thought we might have an issue with some traffic, and we would have to obviously pull aside and slow to an absolute crawl. I didn't want to not get the second run in, but it's looking like we're going to hit traffic on the second flying lap. Unless the garage empties now. We've got Max coming out for another run, but we need everyone else out now as well, or else we are going to hit some traffic. They might add as a patch at some point. No, they won't. Something like that would require a lot of recoding, and I don't think that'll happen in this game. They're just going to look at, you know, rebalancing a little bit, rebalancing the difficulty, etc.
And circuit's all clear. So you're good to go.
All right.
Track is all clear.
Hopefully the traffic won't be too
let's
bad
go
for
for it.
Lewis. Might be a little worse for George. We are ahead of both the Astons, with Lewis anyway. Clear of both of them. George will get clear, nice and comfortably there. Neither driver's improved in the first sector. I was wondering where you were, and then I thought, I bet he's forgotten it was an 8 PM start tonight. And sure enough, 9 o'clock comes around, and here comes Farah. Alright, a slight improvement in the middle for Lewis, no improvement for George. There's no improvement, he stays P3.
Good lap, Lewis.
Russell pulls out a
Box.
mighty final
car.
sector and does improve to second place.
Currently P2. Yeah, we're happy.
So now it's a
we
question
will
of
box,
where is
box.
Perez going to qualify? He is the biggest threat right now for knocking us out of the top four. And it looks like he's going to get a slipstream off the Ferrari as well. And he does go P2. Damn it. So we miss out on... Actually, no, did I say top 6? I think I said top 6 for the sponsors. Yes, 2 in the top 6. So, we're okay. We have fulfilled the objective. Whew. And of course, Perez will have that penalty. And oh no! No! Lewis drops to 7th. So we failed the objective. But with penalties for Perez and Alonso, Lewis will start in 5th. George will start in 2nd. But yeah, we've missed one of our sponsor opportunities already, and I think we might be in trouble with the streak as well.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Yes, Marina has played host to a fair few title-deciding races, such as 2016 when Lewis Hamilton secured the top podium spot, only for Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg to claim 2nd and secure his maiden World Championship. The sky tonight is mostly clear, with only a few clouds. Nothing to worry about for now, but let's see how the situation unfolds.
And teams will have to make tough, split-second decisions here if they're going to succeed. An exhilarating race lies ahead of us with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Yeah, so we have failed that one, but we did pass the quali streak. That is good, because that was worth a fair bit of money. So at least that one's done. Finish position streak 2 in the top 6. Let's see, guarantee slots, edits. I wish you could do the position gain on just one of the cars, because I don't think we're going to beat Max. So I don't think George has got a hope in hell of beating Max, unfortunately. Because I would like to try and push, you know, Lewis up to, you know, 4th, get a little bit of extra cash, but I can't risk doing that, because if one car fails its gain, then both cars fail effectively, and we end up paying the penalty. Right, what do we want to do strategy-wise tonight? I'm thinking soft, medium, medium. Might be the way to go. Let's have a look at soft, hard, medium. It's about the same. Got 3 strategies and they're all pretty much the same. So we'll go soft, medium, medium. Right, actually, just out of curiosity, could I make a soft, medium, soft work? Only if I look after the tyres. And again, it's only going to be a second quicker. Go. Right, let's take 2 laps of fuel out, and we're going to push on the start. And let's go to the grid for one final time this season, and our final time with Mercedes.
Only 58 laps stand between the drivers and the checkered flag here under the lights at the Marina circuit. And here's George Russell settling in for the race.
It's a P2 start for them, an excellent opportunity, and no doubt they'll be looking to grab it with both hands.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Hold on tight. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Just show me what you've got.
Alright, George has got the jump on Max at the start, which is good. The soft tyres helping. Hasn't completed the move yet. Let's give him some battery just to help him complete that move.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
There we go. He's going to come back at him.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Gone for the soft tyre at the start rather than the finish because I want to try and get the undercuts, and straight away Max is already straight past us again. Alright, we'll just have to wait until DRS kicks in and then see if we can sprint away from him. But he's going to be so quick in this race. It's going to be hard to keep pace with him. Right, so let's have a look. McLaren currently running 20th and 18th. AlphaTauri running 13th and 14th. And Ferrari running 4th and 8th. See how they do throughout this Grand Prix. They are the three teams you can choose from as to who we're going to join next season. Poll is still up on the community tab. McLaren are leading that choice at the moment. Time to turn on the batteries and see if we can catch and pass Max, and see if we can get Lewis up the order a little bit as well. Leclerc is going to be vulnerable to DRS on this lap, which should make the pass for Lewis a little bit easier. Be careful I don't burn out the tyres, so I'm going to need to cool those down pretty quickly. There we go. We've got George onto the back of Max, and we've got Lewis through up into 4th. Lewis is going to be on Ocon by the time we get to the DRS straight, and he will be vulnerable because he's outside of range from George at the moment. There we go, Russell into the lead. Lewis trying to go around the outside of Ocon, and does so. That's him up into 3rd. Ocon not giving up the place. He is going to have to yield. Hamilton might just have made it into DRS of Max. Yes, he did. Excellent, because he's out of battery. I need to start cooling his car.
charge that pack.
There we go.
Just think about lift and coast efficiency.
Alonso is all the way at the back as well with that new engine. His gearbox is certainly not helping him. Damaged as it is.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Fully expected Max to get back past us pretty quickly and easily, so I want to save a bit of performance on these tyres later in the stint. Because the softs don't last all that long here. I do need to get Lewis back into DRS though. There we go.
Just need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick. Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Right. Long way to go in the race. If we can save a bit of life in these softs, it gives us more flexibility with the remainder of the strategy. We can box a little bit later and then push harder on the mediums, or potentially look after the mediums a bit and go on to softs at the end and be nice and competitive then. Depends on what Max is going to do. Starting on the mediums, he could be one-stopping, which is definitely an option.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up. We're just going to need to introduce a little bit of lift and coast.
Happy to start reducing that management.
Yeah, copy.
Just missed out with Russell there. Got it with Lewis though.
And just charge the pack.
And hopefully we'll get it with George here on the second DRS straight. Just missed it again. Oh no, we got it. We got it. Excellent stuff. Probably this little sort of game of cat and mouse with Max over his next couple of laps, I think. again, we just missed the DRS in the first zone, but we should get it in the second. Maybe not. No, missed it there as well. That's a shame. Although we did close up a little bit with the slipstream. Let's see if we can stay in range on this lap. So not many teams starting on soft tyres. There's normally a couple more than that. A lot of guys have gone for the mediums. Leclerc on the hards. Leclerc might be one stopping if he's starting hard. Just missing out on the DRS. We do close up a little on the straights, but it's the corners where we're losing the time. The older spec parts don't quite have the same downforce generation, unfortunately, so we're not as quick through the corners as we were a couple of races ago. Give George a little bit of battery.
Copy.
Do the same with Lewis, just to make sure he doesn't get dropped.
Use the overtake.
Still want to protect these tyres a little bit, still want to save some fuel. I think Max is on a push lap though. Because we didn't gain any time at all there. Closing up now then.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
There we go, and we have dropped Ocon in the process as well, which is quite nice. So after pushing the tyres hard on the first couple of laps, we have corrected to just above the line now, which is excellent. Evening, Baron. tyres are going to start to fall away in pace as soon as we hit 60%. So let's put them up to normal pace now.
Yeah, agree.
Again, Max is just edging away from us in the corners. He does a 1:27.9. Yeah, he's on another quick lap. You can use Ocon's perspective there. He did a 1:29.3. So Max 1.4 seconds quicker than the next medium tyre car. And you can see his tyres are in worse state than Ocon's as well. He's definitely on a bit of a push right now. So, as things stand, Ferrari might well have enough points here to catch Aston Martin. Oh, no, not enough points at all. They're going to end up 10 points behind. Stroll needs to drop out of the points, I think, for Ferrari to do better. Plus, they need sights to improve as well. We're down in 8th place right now. So Aston are looking on for third place in the Constructors. Hoping that we can maybe close the gap to Verstappen a little bit by leapfrogging our drivers. Let's encourage them to rarely defend, so they stay on the racing line.
So you just stay online.
And we're going to put them into low overtake aggression as well, so that they only make clean and obvious overtakes, so DRS sectors hopefully. That way that should reduce the amount of time lost battling in the squiddly sections, where time loss will be quite dramatic, and encourage overtaking on the DRS zones, which will improve our pace. Also just further minimises the risk of them hitting each other as well. Stroll has got himself into a side-by-side battle with Charles Leclerc, which is the worst possible thing for Ferrari. And these two are not budging, are they? Alright, Russell will have the inside line and the DRS, so he should pull away in this zone here. I'm going to try and stretch these tyres an extra lap or two if we can.
So head down now.
Almost done with the fuel saving as well, so we don't have to worry about that with the next stint. Let's take a quick look further back. Also, he's in 16th place now. Norris has got himself up to 15th. That's encouraging, if that's where we're going to end up next year. And late on the brakes for Charles Leclerc, but he is going to give up the DRS now. Stroll will come straight back at him down the inside here. Leclerc's going to one stop on those parts. Sainz is absolutely nowhere at the moment. Perez in 9th. I would have expected him to be a bit further up. We're going to box Lewis this lap. And we're going to box George next lap.
Box.
Yes, box.
Oh, this hasn't worked at all. Alright, let's up George's tyre pace as well.
Let's give it everything we got.
Copy.
Don't sweat it, Lewis.
Yeah, it was a nice idea with them doing casual swapping, but it just hasn't really worked out. So we'll put them back to neutral on both.
Yeah, copy.
And Ocon boxes this lap as well. So he's going to try and undercut George. Not a great time, and we did get held up for Ocon.
Caution, could have traffic on exit.
Ocon's going softs again. Interesting. Well, I say again, he was on mediums, so he came off those mediums really quickly. Hamilton gets out in front of Bottas, but behind the battle of Perez and Sainz, and just out of the DRS, I think.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Yep.
Here comes George for his stop. Yeah, 2.2, it's not an amazingly quick stop. Mechanics are definitely feeling a little bit of fatigue towards the end of the season. Oh, George is going to leapfrog ahead of all three of the cars there. That's worked out nicely for George, that extra push lap.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, Roger.
Right, Lewis is going to try and get both of them here. And does. What a great move.
Use the overtake.
So maximum confidence for Lewis there. That deserves a little whoop.
Sweat
We'll
Lewis.
see that one again.
Now we're with Lewis Hamilton here. Can they squeeze by? And that really helps them move up the field.
And we have now broken the DRS as well, which is good stuff. Let's go back into top up now.
So just charge that pack.
We'll wait till George's tyres are up to temp and then we'll push the pair of them. And hopefully Ocon will get held up behind Sainz and Perez for a bit.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up. And just need a little more lift and coast.
Alright, those tyres should be almost at temperature now. Apparently not. Close enough.
Push and hold, overtake.
Come in.
Let's go after
Drop the lift
Gasly.
and coast for now, we'll make it up later.
And there we go, there's his tyres at temp. Right, where are the Alpha Tauris? Let's see, Schumacher's in 17th. I don't know if he's... I think he might have already stopped. Ricardo is in 11th. And we're seeing a couple more stops now for Gasly and for Stroll.
And you're the fastest man on track.
Soft tyres for Stroll and for Gasly. And now Ricardo comes into the box. What tyres is he going on to? He's going soft as well. Ricardo out in 18th place. Right, who has yet to stop? Leclerc, who's on the hard tyres, Verstappen on those mediums. The fact that he hasn't stopped yet suggests he's probably one stopping. Perez and Sainz yet to stop. Norris and Alonso yet to stop as well. Keep an eye on those yet to make their stops. See what tyres they do go on to. And we're on to the back of Charles Leclerc. Perez and Sainz both into the box. So, are they going hard tyres? Yes, hard tyres for Sainz. What about for Perez? Hard tyres for Sainz as well. And Norris comes in. And he's going soft. So Norris is 2 stopping. Oh, that's a bad stop.
Nice one.
As we get both of our cars past Sainz there.
P2.
No, sorry, Leclerc. The drivers mixed up horribly tonight. So Max is almost certainly going to be one stopping then. Is he going to stop this lap? Yes, he is. And that is hard tyres going on for Max. So Max is going to go for the one stop. And that's a decent time as well.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Max rejoins 3.5 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. There he is, just going around the corner in front of us. And he's got Ocon all over the back of him. So he might get overtaken here. He's got to get those tyres up to temperature. Ocon is on softs with the DRS. It's not going to get him here, but he should get him in the second DRS zone. Maybe not. I think Max is going straight on the attack, trying to get those tyres warmed up. Yeah, he's going to stay ahead. He's not going to get caught by Ocon. Alright, game on. So, now we need to decide whether to stay on the mediums for the second stop or go onto softs. So let's queue up a switch to soft tyres. We're going to want to stop probably about there. He's just a little bit quicker. Does mean we can't really push these mediums though. Otherwise, that will essentially invalidate the strategy that we've just switched to, because we'll have the box too early. Right, Alonso in the box. This is going to be for hard tyres, surely. Stop. Max is already past Leclerc. There he is, just absolutely flying right now. Yeah, I don't think we can beat him. I think the best we can look at for tonight is the second and third. Evening, Adam. Would have been nice to sign off the campaign with a win, but I'll settle for a double podium. Yes, Adam, this is the last race of the season. Season 3 will start on Monday at a new team, based on the results of the poll that's currently up on the community tab of the channel. Yes, George is champion. He was confirmed champion in Brazil. So, we're halfway through this race, or almost halfway through. We'll be halfway through on the next lap. So let's have an update on the 3 teams that we could be going to next season. McLaren first of all. Norris is 16th and Piastri is 20th. That isn't great. Ferrari are 5th and 10th. And AlphaTauri are 12th and 17th. See what the constructors is going to look like if things stay as they are.
Anything could happen, Lewis. Let's just keep it this way.
So AlphaTauri will finish last with no points. McLaren will finish 6th with 55 points, and Ferrari will finish 4th with 308 points. Am I going to do a poll? Yes, there's a poll up on the community tab of the channel already. It's been up for a day or two, and will stay up until Monday. And Max is on us. Didn't take him long. All we can hope now is that we can do some damage to his tyres by keeping him stuck behind us. That might give us a chance of catching him when we go on to softs at the end. Oh, yellow flag. And that was Stroll running wide.
Here we are then, reaching turn 13. And wide they go, leaving the racing line.
That's not going to hurt him that
Perhaps
much.
a little
That'll cost him a
lapse in
couple of seconds, but
concentration,
he
maybe.
wasn't about to lose position. Max is going to sneak through as well. See that coming. Nothing I could do about that.
Got every chance here. Yeah, Lewis, we're still in this race. I just don't think about getting the pack back up.
Understood.
Should have charged the batteries up earlier. I wasn't thinking. Oh, Max is through already. Alright, well, Russell's going to get the DRS, so we'll put him into full harvest as well.
Just
Yeah,
charge the pack.
we just don't have pace. It's frustrating, but it was inevitable, given that we've been using hand-me-down parts for the last few races of varying degrees of quality. But like I said, the objective tonight is second and third. And who knows, Max may have a mistake somewhere. He may have a safety car that's, fortuitous in its timing for us. And I think realistically, Max is going to get, another win tonight. His car is just better at the moment. His engine's more powerful. He's the highest rated driver in the game.
charge the pack.
Okay.
And we just don't have an answer for the pace that he's capable of at the moment. Be interesting to see if he stays with Red Bull when his contract comes up or if he moves to another team. Driver market's going to be interesting because we'll not really have any input in that at all, but there's going to be a huge number of drivers out of contract at the end of this season. And all those changes will happen before we can make the move. You know, we'll get the option to change teams on the final day of the season when everyone's out of contract, and then as we choose the teams, the drivers will have signed with their new teams or re-upped with their existing teams. So whichever team we go to might not have the drivers that are currently there. And both Ferrari drivers are out of contract this season. Perez is out of contract this season. We've re-upped George, so he's re-signing, and Pourchaire's stepping in next season for Hamilton, who is leaving the team. Whether he's going to go somewhere else or he's going to retire or just stay in free agency, I don't know. I think Alonso is out of contract this season. I think Ricciardo's out of contract this season. Piastri might be out of contract this season. Ocon might be out of contract this season. A lot of drivers are going to be moving around. Haas drivers might both be out of contract this season as well. So it's going to be a very different grid next season. We could end up with a couple of really good drivers. We could end up with a couple of really shit drivers. We just don't know. And because they'll have just sort of sparked, maybe thought there was contact for a second then. I saw the twitch, I saw the sparks, I thought, oh god, don't hit each other. Because they'll have just signed as well, we might not actually be able to replace the drivers. Because they'll have just signed a new contract. So, yeah, we could be stuck with a driver that or a pair of drivers that we really don't want. For, you know, at least the first couple of months. If not the first season. Alright, due to stop in 5 laps with Lewis and 6 laps with George. I think we can up our tyre pace.
Pick up the pace.
Yep.
See if we can get back onto Max.
Push and hold, overtake.
Yeah, copy.
Right, 1:27.1, that's a quick time. Ocon's in the box, so he's coming off those softs. Is he going mediums or is he going hards? Oh, I'm guessing he's going to go hards. Yeah, hard tyres. Decent stop. If we do end up at McLaren next season and Norris is still in contract, then I think if we can get Ocon there as well, that'll be an interesting driver lineup. Red Bull could be mighty next season with Perez's seat coming up as well. I mean, with Lewis out of contract and Leclerc out of contract, we could see a devastating lineup at Red Bull next season. Max and Leclerc or Max and Hamilton. I think Leclerc is probably more likely than Lewis, but that would be a scary lineup. We could see Hamilton at Ferrari next season. Or maybe even he might sign for McLaren. Who knows? It will be completely out of our control. Food for thought there, Farah. He might have to suffer through another season of Lewis. It's entirely possible.
So just charge that pack.
Yep.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
Not that I'm trying to piss on your cornflakes or anything, but yeah, just you need to be aware of that. Right, Magnussen and Piastri both in the box. Medium tyres for Oscar and medium tyres for Magnussen. So they're going to the end.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up. Just keep the pressure on Lewis, you can do this.
Anytime, Farah. You're very welcome. I did think about throwing Haas into the mix as well, but a lot of people have done Haas playthroughs on YouTube, and I just thought, let's try something a little bit different. Alright, Stroll is in the box. Is he going mediums? Yes, he is. So Ferrari currently 8th and 9th. There's Stroll going to come out. And there are the Ferraris just crossing the line now. Leclerc's going to the end. Sainz is going to have to stop again, I think. And we'll go softs. And he splits the Ferraris. Did not get into Leclerc's DRS. He will be vulnerable to Sainz here. There's Norris in the distance. Go one more lap with Lewis,
Box.
just to give us a little bit more flexibility on pushing with those soft tyres. Do I think Mercedes will get a win before the season ends? Probably not. Maybe Brazil. They might have a chance, but we'll see.
Let's just keep our heads down.
That's the point. Which tyres did I go for with Lewis? I did go for
Box.
softs. Good.
Copy, box.
Right, Gasly boxes. He's going to come out behind Sainz. Can he get out in front of Norris? Yes, he can. Quite comfortably, actually.
Pace is still good, let's just keep it up.
So here we go then. Lewis's final stop of the season.
Apron.
Should be nothing untoward happens in the final stages of the race. 2.0. Not bad. It's better than the first stop.
All clear on exit.
George is boxing at the end of this lap. And that's the third fastest stop of the night. Stroll sets the fastest lap.
Start the charge.
Understood.
So Hamilton is 23 seconds off of Max, who is going to the end. Max is doing 1:26.9s at the moment. That is very quick. George is in. Good stop as well, 2.0. Again, 2/10 faster than his first stop.
Track will clear on exit.
Should get out in front of Lewis. Oh, he's going to come out just behind. It's going to be close. He got out just in front, but his tyres are cool, very cool.
Just
Put him into
reduce your
harvest
speed.
mode so that
Charge the pack.
he can charge it behind Lewis, who's going to get the move done here. He should be getting the move done, but isn't. Do I have any plans for this sale so far beyond making McLaren great? Well, it's not necessarily a dumb deal for McLaren to be who we go to next season, although it is looking the most likely at the moment. But what do you mean in terms of plans for beyond? You mean moving to another team after that? It depends how much. Depends how we do at McLaren. I mean, I get the feeling we're probably going to do 3 seasons with McLaren if we go to McLaren. If we go to Ferrari, then probably only 2 seasons at Ferrari. If we go to AlphaTauri, I don't know, it might take 4 seasons. Am I going to enter the realms of drivers retiring, which is improving, etc.? It should do. I mean, Lewis is close to retirement. Alonso is close to retirement. If Ricciardo is out of contract this season and doesn't get picked up, then he might retire. Bottas is entering the twilight of his career. He might be out of contract this season, actually, as well, I think. I'm expecting him to stick around next year, but I don't know where he'll be. But he's at the point in his career where his stats will start degrading if they haven't done already. So we are going to see some drivers dropping off the grid. We've already seen Sargent has been dropped and not rehired this season. And the chances of him getting back onto the grid are probably pretty low, because he's not going to take a reserve role, and all the other young drivers have got a higher rate of improvement now. So we're more likely to see them getting reserve roles and then getting onto the grid from a reserve role, rather than Sargent getting back on the grid. So I don't think we're going to see Logan Sargent in the game again. You know, on this save, I think that's him done. And there's a risk that Piastri might end up going down that route as well, as he doesn't get re-signed when his contract expires. If he goes into free agency, that might be it for Oscar. Norris sets the fastest lap of a 1:24.4. We're going to do a fastest lap run on the next lap, so let's see if we can blow that out of the water.
There seems to be some great powers of resistance.
I was just hoping we could get through at least one race without hearing that from George, but no. Gotta hear his powers of persistence speech. I'm not going to miss that next season.
Understood.
Push and hold, overtake.
Coming.
We'll have all new driver lines that will get on my nerves. but if Hamilton is signed by McLaren, then we'll have Hamilton for a season.
You're fastest man on track.
And then we'll look to bring in another driver to replace him. You don't have a Christmas list. You have a humbug list.
Increase in lift and coast.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Alright, so Verstappen's tyres at 55%. He's doing 1:26.8. We were very quick on that last lap, but that was just a one lap pace. We can't sustain that at all. We should be probably in the low 125s once our cars settle down again.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up. And think about less lift and coast.
Last few races have been hard to watch. They've been hard to manage. Oh, hello. Yellow flag. Is that anything big? No. Just a lock up for Sainz, but that has hurt him.
Now we're watching
He's
Carlos
dropped
Sainz
3
here.
places, I think.
Nothing wrong so far.
Or
And
2
there's
places
the
on
locker.
a lapped car.
What caused that, I wonder?
Not sure which McLaren that is. It was Norris, so yeah, that's Sainz down to 12th, and that is pretty much Aston guaranteed now to get 3rd in the Constructors, I think. How did Hamilton get caught in that train in Brazil? Yeah, well, the car just is running on old parts because you can't make new ones, so we've done the best we can with what we've got, but that's a little slower than I would like.
And let's push.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Although Max had a slow lap. And he had to fight his way through some traffic. He's just lapped a whole bunch of cars. Ten laps to go, 15 seconds behind him. I don't think we're going to catch him. I don't think we've got enough pace to close by a second and a half a lap. Junior thinks I'm a good manager. Well, thank you, Junior. So now that Max is back in clean air, he's down to 1:26.9s again. What do we do on this lap? .125.7, that's 1.2 seconds. That's not enough. We need more than that. Alright, which of my drivers has got the better confidence? Lewis. Okay, so George, don't fight. rarely defend,
So you just stay online.
and rarely attack.
Be careful with the car.
Actually, that's situations where a player can say no to team orders. Yeah, disobedient drivers would be an interesting twist. There's other things that they need to do before they even think about that, though. Proper car reliability would be the next big thing I'd like to see. Where you can get random engine failures or ERS failures. Just, you know, something where something can go wrong on the car and you have like a dip in power for that race, or an engine just explodes, well, you know, dies a death, or you get stuck in a gear if the gearbox is old and that hurts you. I mean, you kind of got that when a gearbox wears, and, you know, you lose a bit of acceleration. But it's not the same. Got a spin for someone.
Yellow, yellow.
Let's have
Alex
a look
Albon.
at that. Nothing at this point. And round they go. And once it started, they were pretty powerless to do anything.
Is Hamilton retiring? Don't know. He's out of contract with us at the end of the season, and we've signed Porsche, or promoted Porsche from the reserve role to take the seat. So he'll go into free agency. It's just a question of whether he'll sign for another team in the off-season or not. So he might retire, he might not. He hasn't said he's retiring. So he's probably going to stay around for one more season, whether he's in a car or not, and then we'll see what happens. Right, gap is just under 12 seconds. But again, we're only lapping about a second faster at the moment, which is not enough. There's only 7 laps to go. But we are comfortably on for my race target, which was a double podium.
Charge the pack.
Coming.
Evening, Daniel. Who do I like the most, Russell or Hamilton?
So it should be 6 laps.
It's a tough one. Possibly Hamilton. But that's only because I've been watching him since his debut back in 2007. What do I think about an 11th team? I would love to see Andretti get a spot on the grid, but it's not looking likely. A lot of the teams are very much against it. While the FIA has given them the rubber stamp, Formula One management has not. At least not yet, anyway. So we'll see. Are we getting to end of year today, the selection on Monday? Yes, that's exactly right. We're going right up to the last day of the calendar year today. And that's where the stream's going to end. And then the poll will continue over the weekend. And then on Monday, the results of the poll will be which team we then switch to at the start of Monday's stream. What do I think of Red Bull? Do not like them at all. Alright, got the gap down to 8.6, 8.5 seconds. We're a second and a half faster on that last lap. Oh wait, no, nearly 2 seconds faster on that last lap. Although Max did just have which Alpha is that? I think that's Joe that he's just lapped. We've got 4 laps to go. We're 8 seconds off. I don't think we can catch him, but we're going to turn up the
And we'll push. Yep.
turn up the heat a little bit. I don't like Red Bull for their utter hypocrisy. I've not liked Red Bull for years, long before they broke the cost cap, long before the cost cap was even a thing.
And 3 laps remaining.
I don't believe everything you see on Drive to Survive. There'll definitely be scripted moments on that show, and
So we're low on battery.
they will have edited moments just to tell the narrative that they wanted on that show as well. That's all how reality TV works. There's not that much real about reality TV. As someone who has been on a reality TV show, I can tell you that they can be very, very devious with the way they do with their editing.
So head down.
Understood.
Alright, final lap. 4 seconds off Max, so we're not going to catch him unless he makes a mistake. But we'll give it everything we got. Oh, yeah, I don't know what year it was now. 98, I think it would have been. Sky did a series called Guiding Stars, where they took a professional to work with some amateurs, and they did a whole series. David Seaman worked with a local non-league football team, pub team kind of thing, a Sunday football team that had never got past, I think, the first round of this particular competition that they were in. And he took them to the final. I don't think they won, but I think he got them to the final. I think theirs was a two-parter. Caprice did a charity fashion show. I don't remember who else was on it. I used to do a little bit of Amdram, and Adam Woodyard from EastEnders came and worked with us. But yeah, they were very selective with what they put in and what they didn't. And as far as my own personal experience with some of the editing,
Yeah, we can do this.
they showed a little clip of me making one mistake while I was rehearsing my lines, and they filmed me for an hour. That was the only mistake I made, and then they framed it with that little clip saying Jim struggles to learn his lines. It's like, fuck off. I made one little error on my line learning in the entire hour, and that's the only clip they showed. and said that I was struggling. Yeah, they'll. It's the same with all reality TV shows, all engineered, to a degree. They'll take situations where they can try and frame it in a way that creates a bit of drama, creates a bit of intrigue, and they'll film a lot and then leave most of it on the cutting room floor, taking just the bits that they can tell the story that they want to tell, not what actually necessarily happens.
Have to say, George Russell looked excellent out there.
What a fantastic result for the team who got everything right for this podium. They deserve nothing less.
Pure elation there as the driver regroups with the team that worked so hard to see this moment. And up he goes, George Russell joining the podium lineup after a memorable Grand Prix.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
Hard to believe that's another one over. The season's ended, the party's just beginning, here in Abu Dhabi.
Well, there we go. There is the final podium of the season. And the last time we'll be seeing Mercedes drivers up on the podium as their manager.
It's one of the all-time greats, and it means Mercedes will take home another championship trophy.
And it's not just one title they're celebrating. They've picked up both the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championships. Utterly dominant.
And that then concludes our time here in Abu Dhabi.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard at the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.
Well, there we go then, confirmation of the final result of the final race of the season. Max does get the win. We just didn't have the pace to catch him. I didn't think we would, but in the end we weren't too far off. We're only, 1.5 seconds off him at the end. George did get ahead of Lewis, who took third place and got the fastest lap. Ocon in fourth, another strong result for him. Gasly up into fifth as well, so good points in the final race of the season for Alpine there. Stroll finishes ahead of both of the Ferraris, and that is enough for Aston Martin to claim third in the Constructors. Good recovery drive from Perez, gaining 11 places. Norris getting up to ninth in the end. Great recovery drive from him. And that's 2 more points for him and McLaren. Disappointing race for Ferrari. Both drivers dropping positions. Leclerc down to 8th, Sainz down to 10th. And in the lower half of the grid, Alonso's recovery from his penalised start after an engine change sees him gain 8 places up to 11th, just missing out on points by less than half a second. Decent result for Ricciardo, up to 12th. Bottas dropping out of the top 10 into 13th. And a disappointing race for Albon, down in 20th place in the end. That spin at the end really hurt him. And yeah, let's see the drivers' standings for the final time. So George is the world champion. That was confirmed back in Brazil. Picked up 12 wins, 19 podiums, just the 1 DNF, 3 sprint wins, 6 poles and 9 fastest laps. Lewis, in what might possibly be his final season in the sport, got 5 wins, 19 podiums, 3 DNFs, 3 sprint wins, 9 poles and 11 fastest laps. And they are 1 and 2 in the championship, 61 points apart in the end. Much bigger gap than I thought we would see, given how close they've been for most of the season. And then Max in third with 311 points. He does break the 300-point barrier. Checo gets fourth ahead of Lance Stroll, who beats out Charles Leclerc into 6th place. Fernando in 7th, no points for him tonight, but he stays ahead of Ocon by 1 point. That was so close. Ocon couldn't quite grab him. If he'd been able to get on the podium and finish third, that would have been enough to get 7th place for Ocon. Sainz just about manages to stay ahead of Gasly, who had another strong race. Was just a little bit too far back to overtake him. Norris's extra 2 points, don't really mean a lot in the grand scheme of things. He stays in 11th place. And they've got Tsunoda, Piastri, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Zhou, Albon, Bottas, and the only 2 drivers not to score were Schumacher and Ricciardo. So in the Constructors' Championship, we broke the 900-point barrier, 17 wins, 21 additional podiums, 20 fastest laps, 15 pole positions from 23 races. That's a pretty impressive record. And it could have been stronger, it's just we kind of fell away a bit at the end. Red Bull finish in 2nd place on 570 points with a strong final race of the season for them. Aston Martin do pip Ferrari quite comfortably in the end, and so Ferrari finish 4th in the Constructors. Alpine with a strong finish, but we're never going to get anywhere near Ferrari. They just weren't able to score enough points earlier in the season. McLaren in a strong 6th place. Williams 7th ahead of Haas in 8th. Alfa Romeo 9th. And AlphaTauri with 0 points in 10th. As far as the DHL competition goes, it was Red Bull 1 and 2 in this race for Perez and Max, both with 2.0 second stops. Then Ferrari, then with Sainz, then it was us with Russell and then Hamilton. And then Alpine, Ferrari, McLaren, Alpine and McLaren. Let's see what that does to the final standings. We dominated that competition. We had 21 of the 23 fastest stops this season, and that is a competition win for us. Red Bull finish in 2nd, Ferrari in 3rd, McLaren take 4th, Alpine 5th, and then Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Williams and Haas. Right, driver reports for the last race of the season. 10 successful overtakes, 10 failed for George. 28 successful defences and 10 failed. Busy afternoon for George. Let's have a look at Lewis. 13 successful overtakes, 22 failed. 9 successful defences and 7 failed. Not quite as busy for Lewis in terms of defending, but some good driving from both of our drivers there. And we did get a little bit of a track time for Teo as well. Got his rating up to 81 as he will be jumping into the car for next season, and it might even possibly get a little bit higher before then as well. Unfortunately, we will not actually get the chance to manage Teo unless we try and sign him from Mercedes. Let's have a look. We paid out 25k to George for his top 3 finish. No bonus for Lewis because he didn't get a win. In terms of sponsors, we missed out on the quali position with Lewis getting 7th on the grid, which was outside the 2 in the top 6 that we said we were going to get. But we do complete the streaks, which is nice, and so we end up with another 6.5 million in the bank. And now let's go to our inbox. So, car part development is locked. It's been locked for us for about 2 months, so that's not really an issue. Car inspection results. And there we see the parts just completely falling apart in the final race. Chassis gone, rear wing and side pods are gone on George's car, and the suspension's gone on Lewis's car. 2024 championship results. Starting with the Drivers' Championship, we saw Max in 3rd, Lewis takes 2nd, but the Formula 1 2024 World Drivers' Champion is George Russell with 485 points. It's been a truly incredible season, said George, ending this with this many points after some amazing races. It's emotional. I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm proud of the team. I really think I beat the odds this year, and it feels amazing. And moving on to the Constructors' Championship, Aston Martin took 3rd, Red Bull came in 2nd, but with 909 points, it's Mercedes that's taken home the trophy. Jim Bob had this to say: "We had a goal, we fought tooth and nail for it, and we achieved it. I'm so incredibly proud of everyone at Mercedes and the work they've put in. The aim now is to defend this title in the years to come for the team, but not for me, because I won't be at Mercedes next season." So there we can see just again a summary of the championship standings that we've already gone through. Let's see who won the F2 championship. It was Enzo Fittipaldi. Wow. Enzo Fittipaldi wins the F2 championship ahead of Ollie Behrman. I think we can expect to see Fittipaldi on the grid in some shape or form next season, perhaps. Maybe Behrman as well. Freddie Vesti came in 4th behind Roman Staniak. Then Jack Crawford, Kush Maini, Clement Novalak, Arthur Leclerc. That's the top 8. Got Amaury Cordeel, Gabriele Mini. Gets 10th on his first season in F2, having been in F3 the season before. That's a pretty strong result. Another cost cap warning email. Okay, right. We need some housekeeping to be done. So, we need to upgrade. No, not upgrade, sorry. We need to refurb the weather centre to make up for the fact that Mercedes have missed out on some development this season. We are going to, what's that going up to? That's going up to rank 4. We're going to upgrade their car part test centre as well. There we go. Staff facilities. We'll up the race sim if it breaks before the end of the season. And anything else about to go? The helipads and the boardroom. Well, they can stay as they are. They're fine. Right. We need to rehire the scouts. And we need to rehire the engineers. There we go. Let's put those scouts to work as well for one final time. let's start scouting out some of these young drivers so we can see what their stats are looking like. Yeah, like I said, I don't think we're going to see Logan back on the grid next season. And let's scout out Fittipaldi, seeing as he won the... in fact, he's in free agency, so let's just do standard scouting on him. Right. Don't worry, I will be going through contracts at the end of the season before we end the stream. Oh, look at that. We actually got an email from Christian Horner saying congratulations. You blew us out the water a little bit this season. Can't deny that. I can call it a lucky break, though. Cheeky bugger. It wasn't a lucky break. We absolutely dominated this season. Nothing lucky about it. Reduce factory event obligations. No. Alright, so there's Fittipaldi's stats. Not got the greatest pace stats, but he's looking pretty good everywhere else. I mean, he's got great consistency stats for a young driver. His racecraft stats are pretty high as well. So, I mean, those three stats there are his weakest stats. But, you know, with constant short run pace training, you could boost those over a season or two. Maybe someone to think about signing ourselves as a reserve driver if he doesn't end up on with a team next year. Alright. Staff changes. So, you can see James Allison is secured for the next couple of seasons, as is Enrico Balbo, and Bono, and Marcus Dudley. I still don't know why it doesn't show Jonathan Wheatley in that list. You know, no matter which team you're with, it never shows the sporting director, but he's locked up for another 3 seasons as well. Driver changes. So there you can see car 1 next season will be George Russell, car 2 will be Théo Pourchaire, and the reserve driver will be Freddie Vesti. We've got a board review in 30 days. The board currently has high confidence in our leadership. Let's go and have a quick look at them. Delighted with race performances. That's good to see. Delighted with the objectives because we've completed them all. Disappointed with finances. Yet again, we've got another cost cap break fine. We're going to get another one at the end of the year as well, I think. So that's the board confidence check-in. Driver development updates. So let's have a look at driver stats over the last month. Lewis has kept his stats. He hasn't degraded. So he had 2 months in a row where he degraded, and he hasn't degraded since. So maybe he's going to stick around for another year. George's defending goes up another point. And Théo also improves his reactions by 3 points. Oof. You look at those stats for Théo, they are pretty good. He is definitely going to be one to keep an eye on next season. Still young, still with a high rate of development. Let's put the pit crew on a balanced schedule for the rest of the month and leave them at that. They won't be our pit crew for next season, so we're not going to overload them. And that's the inbox taken care of, so we'll advance time a bit more. There's a cost cap fine of 2.2 mil. Weather centre refurb is done. Scouting on Ollie Behrman is done. Not bad stats. Overtaking and defending needs some work. His pace stats are alright for a 19-year-old. Let's see how he stacks up against Enzo. Got better pace stats, but it's his other stats that kind of fall down a bit. Good reactions though. Alright. Let's take a look at Jack Crawford as well. Alright, let's check the facilities. Yeah, nothing's going to break in there. Race sim hasn't broken yet. Operationally, helipad has gone, but we were going to ignore that. Boardroom's gone almost, but we're not going to do that. Scouting results are in. So, Jack Crawford's stats, again, look pretty decent for a young driver. He's what, 18? Oh, he has turned 19 now. Behrman's got the edge. Wind tunnel data concern. Yep, we shut the wind tunnel down for 10 days. It's not being used anyway. Zane Maloney scouting details. Oh, he's out of contract at the end of the season, as is Alex Palou. And Logan Sargent is in free agency. Let's just take a look at Logan's stats. If we compare him to, say, Enzo, who's just won the championship, you can see his stats are, a bit better, but his development rate is now into average. So, yeah, I think we're going to see Logan struggle to get back on the grid next season. If we compare him to Teo, there's a huge world of difference there. And again, Teo with the high development rate still has scope to improve much more than Logan does. Right, we've got just enough time for one more round of scouting. I want to scout out Mr. Mini. I want to scout out Fonaroli as well. Let's take a look at Roman Staniak. He came third in the F2 standings. And are there any engineers I want to take a look at? Let's take a quick look at Paul Rivera's stats as well. Alright, Suspension Simulator is upgraded for next season. Just in time for the next car to be built. We've wasted this ATR period because we've not been able to build anything. There we go, scouting on Pi Rivera, and oh wow, those stats are actually pretty nice. Okay, gotta remember that. He is definitely someone we could think about as an engineer for next season. Let's see, Staniak, not great stats. Fornaroli, he's got some decent pace stats. He needs to work on his reactions and his accuracy. Oh, his smoothness is rough as well. And not great overtaking or defending stats, but you know, he's got good pace for a young driver. Mr. Mini also has some pretty strong pace stats for a young driver. Everything else kind of lets him down a little bit. Good control though for, you know, again, someone so young. There was a fault in the wind tunnel, so that has been dealt with. That's good. So, we got 12 million for winning the DHL Fastest Pit Stop Award. Very nice. And that has not affected Jonathan Whitley's morale whatsoever. Maybe it's because he doesn't have a face that he's so miserable. High confidence from the board. Russell wins the Drivers' World Championship with 485 points. Lewis comes second with 424. And we won the Constructors with 909. We got a 5-star rating, almost. It's just a fraction below 5-star. Just the slightest little tip of the 5th star is white there. But the team rating has gone up until the end of next season as a result. There you can see the objective was to finish in second. We came in first, and the objective was to win the Constructors' Championship, and we did that as well. So you can see in terms of our team rating, it's gone up from 705 to 775. Driver rating has gone up from 102, or the driver contribution to the rating has gone up from 182 to 209. Heritage has gone up from 73 to 78. And the team rating's gone up to the maximum rating of 1,000. That's another board payment just there. Regulation changes. Every part is getting a 10% reduction across the board. We're also going to see a change to hours. So teams that finish lower in the Constructors are going to get more CFD simulator and wind tunnel allocations. And the teams that won, or the teams that win next season, are going to have a higher share of the prize money next season as well. So, yeah, interesting mix. Right, let's have a look at contracts, because there's going to be quite a few that are out of contract, including Lewis. So, let's take a look at the driver market. So, Max is still at Red Bull. He's got 2 more years to go. Lando still has a year left on his deal. Leclerc is out of contract. Russell has re-signed, so it says 0 days, but he's going to start a new contract tomorrow. Checo is out of contract. Sainz is out of contract. Hamilton is out of contract. Gasly still has a year to go on his deal, as does Bottas. Alonso is out of contract. Stroll has 3 more years. Ocon is out of contract. Albon is out of contract. Zhou has 2 more years on his deal at Alfa Romeo. Tsunoda has a year left on his deal at Williams. Magnussen is out of contract. Piastri is out of contract. Porsche has just signed a new 4-year deal, I think, to go from reserve to first team driver. Schumacher is out of contract. Giovinazzi is out of contract. Ricciardo has 2 years left on his deal with AlphaTauri. Verschoor is out of contract as Ferrari's reserve. Hulkenberg is out of contract and not interested, apparently. Why is he not interested? Oh, Hulkenberg's announced his retirement. So Hulkenberg's gone already. There we go. Actually, let's just check. Did Lewis announce his retirement? No, he's open to negotiation, so he hasn't announced his retirement yet. Alonso has not announced his retirement yet either. Okay, so where did we get to? We got to Hulkenberg, who is retiring. Drukovic out of contract as McLaren's reserve. Liam Lawson out of contract as the AlphaTauri reserve. Nick De Vries out of contract as a free agent. Maloney out of contract. Iwasa out of contract. Freddie Vesti is joining us as our reserve driver next season. Alex Palou is out of contract. Hajar out of contract. Jack Doohan is out of contract. Dennis Hauger is out of contract. Sargent is in free agency. Wow. Almost the entire grid is out of contract. Oh, we are going to see some interesting driver moves next season. Let's have a look at technical staff. Pierre Wacker is out of contract at Red Bull. Enrico Cardile is still in free agency. How did no one pick him up last season? New contract signed for James Allison, so he'll be staying on. Dan Fallows is out of contract, so he could be moving. Resta's staying... Resta's gone to Ferrari. No, Resta was at Ferrari. They signed him to replace Cardile, and no one signed Cardile, which is odd. So he's still got 3 years left on his deal. Jody Eggington is still going to be there at Haas. David Warner is unknown because we haven't scouted him. Matt Harmon has a year left on his deal. Tarek Bassara has 4 years on his deal at AlphaTauri. Don't know about Jalmon Show or Neil Holdy. That is all of the named technical chiefs. Aero guys. Tondi's out of contract with Red Bull, so I'm imagining he's going to stay there and we'll just re-sign. That's it. That's all we know in the aero department. Let's take a look at some engineers. We know about Bono. GP is still at Ferrari. He's got 2 more years on his deal. Adami has got 1 year left on his deal at Red Bull. Marcus Dudley's staying at Mercedes. Ben Michel is out of contract with Aston. Hugh Bird is out of contract with Red Bull. Josh Peckett's got 2 years left on his deal. William Joseph was at Ferrari. That is a bit of a surprise, but he's out of contract now. And Javier is going to be at McLaren for 1 more season before his contract runs out. And that's as far as we know. Oh, apart from Pau Rivera, who's in F2. So, yeah, some interesting changes going on there. We'll have a quick look at sporting directors, but I've only got a couple marked. And, yeah, they're all staying where they are. So, very interesting. Let's take a look at, where is it? My profile. So, in 2 seasons, my team principal rating has gone up to 989 points. So we can sign for any team next season. We've had 2 seasons as team principal, both at Mercedes. We've won the Constructors' Championship once. We've won 2 Drivers' Championships, 2023 and 2024. We've entered 46 Grand Prix. And we've won 25 of them. 9 sprint wins. We've had 58 podiums. Total scored points has been 1,451 with Mercedes. Highest team rating we've achieved is 960, which we achieved last year. That should go up to 1,000. And our highest income in a year was $276 million. That's pretty nice. Recent history, you can see a summary of how we did in Season 2. 834 points in total. Yeah, that hasn't been updated, has it? Because we scored more than that. We scored 900 points. Unless that's just Grand Prix and not counting the... It might not be counting the sprints. It probably isn't counting the sprints. But it is counting the sprint race wins. That's weird. Very weird. But there you can see the improvement from Season 1 to Season 2. We won 8 Grand Prix, and we won all of those in a row at the end of last season. And then we carried that form into this season, and we won 17 races and scored an extra 217 points. Yeah, big difference in how we performed. It was a great season. Really enjoyed it. Although it did get a little bit frustrating towards the end with a lot of damage and breaking the cost cap so early. But that is it. That is the end of season 2024. So we will be back on Monday at 8 PM. The new start time for the series going forward will be 8 PM UK time for every stream, not just Monday. And we will be going to a new team. I don't know which team that's going to be yet. It's looking like it's going to be McLaren. That is the leader on the poll so far. If we just take a quick look at the moment. So 83 votes so far. Ferrari are on 28%. McLaren are on 57%. AlphaTauri are on 16%. You've got 2 more days. Well, 3 more days nearly. To get your vote in if you haven't voted already. If you're trying to vote and it's not letting you, then you might need to be a subscriber to do it. I don't know. I'm assuming you probably have to be subscribed to cast a vote. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, there's a good reason to consider dropping a sub on the channel so that you can participate in votes like that I put up on the community tab. And we will find out the results just before I go live on Monday as to which team is going to be the chosen team, and we will start the stream on Monday going to that team. So my future as an F1 manager is in your hands. Please be gentle, and I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. I hope you've enjoyed this season. We will be back, as I say, on Monday with season 3. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.